Guys, look, thanks for taking the call. Look, I don't know how else to say this. Gio needs a new ERS. He's not going to make the end of the season. I can't afford to buy a new one under your stupid cost cap rules. So, what say on this one occasion, you turn a blind eye. I learned my lesson while keeping my job. Everybody's happy, particularly me. You guys are dicks. You know that, don't you? Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Forza Ferrari. We have the Mexican Grand Prix today. Almost caught up with real life, haven't we? And, well, we're not going to get there. We're not going to get there with Giovinazzi because his ERS took a lot of damage last race. No, that's the engine. I've already made the changes for free practice, so it's not quite as bad as this looks. But 39%. We've got not only Mexico to go, the Brazil sprint weekend, then Vegas and Abu Dhabi as well. It's just not going to make it. We don't have the money left to be able to buy a new one, so I don't really know what happens. Like, can we just run one car? Does he sit on the grid, doesn't go anywhere, and just bring out a safety car? Like, I don't understand what's going to happen. I mean, realistically, we have to buy a new one. We have to go over the cost cap, and it probably has to cost me my job, doesn't it? If we look at the board confidence, they still have high confidence in me. But if we look at race performances, there's a couple of happies in there recently, a couple of satisfieds, but they're outnumbered right now by disappointments, and they're only going to get more disappointed because we're only going to get worse and worse. So yeah, I'm not. The only hope I draw here is that the goal is second or above, but it's given me two seasons remaining to reach the objective to win the constructors. So I'm hoping that might be okay on that front. But the finances, this is the issue, isn't it? Now, is the going over the cost cap different to no debt? I mean, we're going to find out all these things. So, as I said, it's just not going to get there. Giovinazzi's car is not going to get to the end of the season. So I don't really know what else we can do. But anyway, it is Mexico. It's not a sprint weekend this time. We're expecting a dry weekend, sunny race. For qualifying purposes, red is Sector 1, blue Sector 2, yellow Sector 3. Sections by speed, we can see it there. A lot of slow speed corners with long straights. Car attributes we can see there. And the time considerations for pit stops as well. Expected strategies. Now, we kind of saw on the weekend the one stop was the way to go, though there was a red flag in there as well. Compound performance, it's not a huge drop off, so you're probably looking at a soft and a medium given the time differences, because the hard is well, it's half a second slower than the medium. So yeah, we're probably going to want to do that. Historically, as always, Max Verstappen wins. That's just, it's like football's a game between two sides of 11, and in the end Germany wins. Formula One is it's a race of 20 cars, and in the end, Max Verstappen wins. All right, so reach Q3 is the goal. I mean, we'll go for it, but I don't think we can. Though our pace in the sprint race in Austin, it did surprise me. I've got to say, cars in the top 6 of qualifying. Let's go with it. So that maybe we have a little bit of hope there, but as you've just seen, everything is wearing at this point. Everything in terms of engines, gearboxes, ERS. So it's only going to get worse the longer we go. So anyway, I'm going to do some free practice here. We've got all the smokers in the car, and then we'll be back for qualifying with some little bit fresher engine parts. Alright, so we've done our free practice, and let's have a look at how we did. Now again, reminder, the cars have very, very old engines and gearboxes and whatnot in them. So FP1, we can see there, Alonso taking engine penalties, which maybe explains why he was so slow in Austin. As Mini, we gave him a run in FP1 just because. Yeah, because he was sort of unusually slow. So if he's taking engine penalties here, then that maybe explains that. We can see here as well, FP2, we were down towards the back. And then FP3, we had the indignity of actually coming last. So outdone by not only Logan Sargent in a Williams, but Logan Sargent in a Williams on a hard tyre. That's about as low as it can get, isn't it, for Antonio there? But I mean, look at his. He was pushing down the straight at some occasions, I think. So we'll put in the better parts that we have left, and I mean, look at his ERS. I'm going to have to start using that in free. This one in free. We're going to have to. There's no way. Anyway, qualifying should be okay. We'll just double check that. All right, so we were okay in the end, though we did have to do a second run, which obviously isn't great. So we're a little bit short on tyres just now. No major casualties in Q1 there. All right, we are on board with Mick. Now, both cars on their first run did do it on used tyres. So, new tyres on for this run. I very much told you the idea of not putting Giovinazzi back out and, you know, saving a set of soft tyres. We're on our last set of new tyres now. Now, if we get into Q3, we will get another set, so that'll be for our main run in Q3. But what we've done here that I don't usually like to do is Mick has gone green, and he needs to because he is currently sitting ninth. Yeah, it just means we won't have a new set of tyres for the race. But I did save a set of mediums because I'm thinking medium tyre is probably going to be better for the race here for us. So Giovinazzi is not gone any quicker. Mick has gone green, yellow, green, and stays ninth. But it should be enough because K-Mag's not really on a lap. So we have squeaked both cars into Q3. So let's go see how we do once we're there. Alright, we are on board with Giovinazzi, who is currently 10th of 10. Now, he got really badly held up by Esteban Ocon through sort of that twisty S's section where Magnussen crashed in real life. So that explains his pace. He is on his new set of tyres now, the set to get to Q3. So that is obviously a bonus for him, but he's only again gone yellow in the first sector. And Mick has gone green. Mick is currently 4th, not a mile away from Hamilton in 3rd. Let's get some sector times here. Hamilton is going faster. There's not many people going faster here at the second run. Anyway, we have gone green. Oh, green. Mick's only gone yellow, so maybe he's not going to get the best of Hamilton here. But can Giovinazzi, he should be able to move himself up. He has gone 9th. Not even ahead of Ocon. Mick stays 4th. So there we go. It's Giovinazzi, not quite his fastest time in qualifying. Mick starts 4th. That's a really good spot, and he did do his fastest time at the end there. So well done to him. And let's see where we can finish in this race now. And of course, Perez on pole in Mexico. It'd be the last day of Rome stuff in there, wouldn't it? All right. So one stop. I mean, that seems the sensible thing to do, doesn't it? I wonder with Giovinazzi though, if the way to do it, given that he's 8th. And probably going to struggle a little bit. I wonder if the way to do it is to start on a hard, go to a medium, and then potentially, with an extra set of mediums as well, we can go medium, medium. There's an argument to say medium, medium, soft. But the thing is in real life, that looked like, and we'll never know with the red flag, but it did look like that was perhaps going to be a strategy that would have worked. But as I said, with the red card, with the red flag, we'll never actually know. But what Lando Norris and Tsunoda could have done with that early stop. But anyway, let's go and see what we can do. Yeah, Giovinazzi is going to be coming on late, and Mick just needs to stay where he is from the start. All right, welcome back. Oh, someone's sparking away back there. It's probably Giovinazzi's car, to be honest. That's his gearbox crunching away. Anyway, let's... oh, that's not a good start, doesn't look like. There's some other hard tyre runners out there as well. There's quite a few hard tyre runners, actually. We'll get through turn 1 here. And Mick is losing out, isn't he? Which isn't great. And he's lost out to the hard tyres of... go away, Esteban. The hard tyres of Russell, which is, yeah, like I say, that's not ideal. But Giovinazzi has climbed up too. He started 9th. Oh, no, he started 8th because of the Alonso penalty. So, I mean, I think we can expect Alonso to come flying through the field. Neither of our cars... oh, Hamilton is gone. Hamilton's dropping down. So that is a bonus place for us, potentially. Let's have a look and see exactly what has happened. If Hamilton's dropping down, you assume there's actually contact this time. It's Lance Stroll, to the surprise of nobody. And Stroll has stuck his nose in where it doesn't belong. And, well, I wonder if either of them are out. I did miss that coming through. So Stroll is out altogether. Hamilton's in the pits.
Looks like quite a big accident. Yeah.
So that is we can harvest up the batteries, but that is interesting in terms of what we can actually do in this race now. 4th and 5th. All right, virtual safety car is ending. There we go. So what we're doing here is we should have DRS because it's virtual safety car and we've done 2 laps. Yeah. So what we're doing here is we're not deploying with Giovinazzi, although I think we might need to. Is Mick going to get a move done there on George Russell? Now, a reminder, George Russell is on the hard tyre. Ideally, we will get that move done. But I'm thinking Giovinazzi's already lost the back of this battle, so we're going to have to... I was hoping he'd be able to sit there and we'd be able to just sort of cruise along, but I don't think that's going to quite work out for us the way I'd hoped. We're obviously going to get a little bit of extra tyre life from that virtual safety car as well, but I don't want to churn into that too early. Now let's see if Mick can go and get George Russell here. It would be very, very big for his race if he could do it. He's right up behind him. He has DRS. George Russell does not. And he'll get a double dose of that DRS because there's only the one detection point. So that worked out nicely for us. And now we need to try and get Giovinazzi. Oh, he's taking him out. Russell's taking out Schumacher. Or did Schumacher lock up? I just saw that up ahead. Now, I have a feeling...
so annoying.
Oh, you should be annoyed, Mick. You're back to friggin' last. Are we going to get a replay? I have a feeling that George Russell had DRS then, which is not how it should work. Are we going to get? No, we're not going to see. It's just all the cars cruising past us. I think George Russell might have had DRS, which, like I say, is not how that's supposed to work. But Mick has taken a chunk of life out of his tyres. He's back to 18th, and we need it. Well, because I think what I need is between now and the end of the season is for the board to be really happy with another race that we do, and obviously, yeah, you know, when we're coming 4th and 5th. And we're all over the back of George. In fact, at the time we were coming 3rd because we just got past George Russell. You know, that's potentially a result that's going to please the board. But instead of that, Mick's gone and thrown it in the weeds. Alright, well, Giovinazzi is just going backwards. He's just going back. I mean, he's dropping off. We're gonna have to just take this this ERS penalty, I think, because he's just a sitting duck. I mean, cars are getting past him. Yes, they're getting past him on soft tyres, so maybe we've got to bear that in mind a little bit. But they're pulling away from him like he's not even there. Like a second in a straight. Let's see if we get an idea here of Hulkenberg. Now we've got DRS, and you can see we're just losing out massively. Yeah, Mick is still down there. He's not really making any ground. I'm tempted to change him and go medium, hard, soft or something at the end, but... Alright, now, Giovinazzi has somewhat stopped the bleeding. Now, yes, he's still gone backwards a little bit, and it's Ricciardo that's the sparker up there as well. Look at that. I mean, what is hanging off of that car? But everybody that got past Giovinazzi was all, with the exception of Albon, they were all on soft tyres. So they're going to be making an extra pit stop, I think. So I've tried to sort of calm myself down, stop panicking. It's mostly probably tyres as much as anything. And now that they're wearing, we can see we are pushing on Giovinazzi here a little bit, just so that, you know, we didn't end up holding up Mick Schumacher. But yeah, it is, yeah, the bleeding has been stopped, which is good. Mick is got himself up. You know, he's got a little bit of a gap in front of him now. But you can see lap time wise, he's 22.5, it's like 22.2, so he's catching everybody in front of him up till we get to Ricciardo in ninth, pretty much. Actually, no, he's ahead of him too. No, he's not. So yeah, that is it's settled down a little bit, which is good. Alright, now we are starting to get pit stops, and we're coming back. Those cars that all overtook us at the start, we're coming back at them at sort of half a second or more a lap for the most part. And Mick Schumacher, just quietly up to 8th. He's doing a really good job coming back from his mistake. So yeah, that's obviously good. He might be on for some points here if he can keep it going, but he's got to put the hard tyre on yet. Those that are coming in for stops, Perez was the first one onto a medium. We can see there's a lot of new soft tyres on towards the back as well. So a soft medium maybe, perhaps what they're looking at. And if you're going to do a 3-strategy 2-stop race, you want to spend as much of that on the soft as you can. So there's Gasly in now as well, who's another one of those that overtook Giovinazzi at the start. So we're going to save ourselves another yellow flag. Hulkenberg had a crash, so he's got to go flying down. Hamilton's locked up. He's already long last. It's one of those. I assume his car was damaged in that crash with Stroll, and Stroll's out. Honestly, Hamilton might as well just retire the car, save his engine, because he's just so far off the pace. He's over a minute behind Piastri, who probably, if he hasn't lapped him, is going to lap him very soon. So yeah, not sure what Hamilton's still doing running around, to be honest. But anyway, there's still a few more. I mean, Giovinazzi should be, along with Ocon and Russell, the last cars to stop. So yeah, we might just back Giovinazzi off his tyres a little bit here, pull them down a bit and see where he comes out. Alonso isn't a mile behind us though, which is troubling considering he started a little ways back. Alright, well, Mick has just been overtaken by Alonso on a soft tyre. He's already made his stop though. Mick is coming in now for his stop. So ideally, something under 3 seconds would be very, very nice. Could we manage that? Yes, we can. Thank you very much. And he will come out. Where's he going to come out? He's going to come out ahead of Hulkenberg and Ricciardo. No, so he's more or less back where he was. Ricciardo's still sparking away. But the promising thing for him, of course, he doesn't have to stop again. Because a lot of those in front of him, they are going to have to stop again. Actually, I think everybody is still going to have to stop at least once, including one stop for Giovinazzi, Ocon, and Russell. So, yeah, Mick is maybe not too badly situated here, depending, of course, what tyres everybody else comes out on. He might be able to rescue himself some points here. But yeah, Giovinazzi, he will be coming in a few laps' time yet. But yeah, sitting fairly smartly up there in 5th. And what's his lap times look like compared to those we're racing? 22. So he's roughly Ocon's pace, a little bit off of Russell's though. All right, so George Russell has just stopped, but they're on board with Giovinazzi. Yeah, we're obviously on the same strategy now. Oh, he's got a bad one. I was just getting excited because Russell had a bad stop, and then we went and did exactly the same thing. So that is going to, potentially cost us to George Russell. Did Russell put on a medium as well? He did. We're going to want to treat this with a little bit more respect. And Mick is just got past Sargent, so he has moved up into 13th and is currently, as you can see, now it's this Giovinazzi in front of us. So Giovinazzi's got a little bit of a train of cars behind him, but you can see there's already been some cars coming for second stops. We're a minute off the lead. The lead isn't our race, but we are potentially in with a chance of a podium here. That's got to be our goal, to be honest. Whether or not it's possible, I don't know. The pit stop being an extra 2 seconds certainly didn't help our cause, did it? But yeah, Mick is almost back into the points, and when there's some pit stops in front of him, he will be back into the points. So this is slowly turning around. Where could Mick have been if he didn't stuff up? Oh, safety car deployed. Now, what has happened here? And
Safety car.
do we want to make any sort of pit stop? I don't think that we do. Does Mick want to make a stop to go onto medium tyres off of his hards? And the answer to that is probably yes. Now, unfortunately, everybody that needed to come in for a stop is going to do so. So it's going to screw us out in that sense. Yeah, Giovinazzi is not going to get around in front of everybody here, is he? So that is a little bit devastating, if I'm honest, because we were looking good for a podium. But instead of that, we're going to come out in 6th. So that could have been worse, and Mick will get off the hard tyres onto the medium, and he will be in 12th, it looks like. Now, he was 11th, I think, beforehand, so hasn't really lost out too much there. Alright, now safety car is ending. Now, interestingly, a lot of cars that came in for stops have come onto a soft tyre. Now, if we look at Mick, now that is on sort of conserve, because that's what he was on when he came into the pits. A soft tyre is not going to get to the end, I wouldn't have thought, at any great rate of knots.
Safety car is approaching the pit lane entry.
Particularly because, you can see they use softs anyway, so it's maybe a bit of a strange one. But anyway, we're going to push a little bit off the start here, just to make sure that we're not going to go backwards. But yeah, we saw in that first stint, Giovinazzi did go backwards initially, but then very much came forward again. Now, interesting, we've got Perez right behind Verstappen in the Mexican Grand Prix. If this doesn't end in tears, then I don't know what will. But yeah, so I just want to make sure that we don't go backwards initially. But I do wonder if these cars in front, Gasly and Alonso, particularly Gasly, Alonso's come from behind us anyway, but I do wonder if those soft tyres are going to sort of fade a little bit towards the end, and it might come back to us. But we'll see how we go here. If we can keep within DRS of these, or the podium there in Alonso, then you never know. I really do think Mick could have been on the podium today. Anyway. Oh, virtual safety car again. Now, what's happened this time? Multiple cars. It's a 2 Alpha Tauri, so it's behind us anyway. It's not going to affect our race in any way, shape, or form. But oh, Denny Rick has relived Baku. Not his finest moment, that one. All right, so virtual safety car has ended. Now, Giovinazzi, you may have noticed, has dropped down a little bit. But there's only 10 laps to go, so I'm thinking maybe the soft tyre was the one to be on. Now, we're behind Norris here, who's also on a medium. We will be trying to get past him as soon as possible here. We will be deploying to get him back. I think some drivers have pushed their tyres quite hard to start with. And so I think actually with Mick, we might even push a little bit harder than we were otherwise going to. And see if we can get him back into the points here. He should have every chance to do it. I'm just trying to keep an eye on tyre temperatures here as well, because I think that is, as much as anything, going to dictate how fast we can go. We're just going to have to sort of try and keep the tyres within the operating window, so that I make me sound like I know what I'm talking about. Now we do need to kind of get past K-Mag here, and let's go deploy. And it looks as though Giovinazzi has taken off a little bit, hasn't he, from Norris? Yeah, he has. So Mick's already burning his tyres a little bit there, so we'll have to drop back. Come on, we need to get some overtakes done here, please, Mick. You need to do it. You need to do it. Send it in. Not preferably into the back of him, but that's fine. So anyway, there's still a few laps to go here. Giovinazzi, Ocon, and Gasly, Russell. That's what we're aiming for, I think, with Giovinazzi. If we look at lap times, is that feasible? Second to lap faster, it certainly would appear so. And then, yeah, Mick just needs to try and... he needs to get some overtaking done here, but I don't know that he's... I don't know if it's... Well, it's not the car, is it? It's the ability. But Norris is quite slow, and potentially going to hold everybody up if he can pick some pockets. Oh, another virtual safety car, and Mick... Oh, it's a red flag. A red flag. Now, Mick was involved in this. Is he going to get a penalty? It was Hulkenberg right in front of him.
Here we are then, looking at
we went to go round the outside, and I'm not sure exactly what happened there. It could go in. Oh, it wasn't K-Mag, it was Hulkenberg, I'm sure of it. Kevin Magnussen causing red flags in Mexico, honestly, mate. I don't think it was him, but we're going to have another, a grid start as well, and with about 10 laps to go, I mean, you have to go into a soft tyre now. It is the no-brainer of no-brainers. And, yeah, I mean, everybody's going to be doing the same thing, aren't they? It's going to be a grandstand finish in Mexico. All right, and let's do this again. It's not even a sprint race. It's about 5 laps, I think. Maybe slightly more. We can just absolutely go bananas on the tyres. We can absolutely go bananas on the deploy, because there's only 3 laps to go.
Press and hold the overtake.
So, I mean, it literally just doesn't matter, does it? We're on board with Mick in 10th. Giovinazzi is in 6th. Is he going to hold on to that? It looks like he is. Mick has got a penalty. Now, is that a 5-second penalty? I don't see anything come up. I would assume so. But yeah, we'll guess. We'll see. It was Magnussen. I could have sworn it was Hulkenberg. But anyway, the game knows best, don't they? Interesting to see too, fastest lap. That could go anyway here as well. But we'll just deploy, and then if we run out of deploy... You know, we run out of deploy when we run out of deploy. Although there's an argument to say hold something back for the last lap. But let's see if we can get a move done on the Aston... No, what was this? Alpine, isn't it? Of Mr. Gasly here. Now, how's everybody else's tyre life looking? There we go, straight out of there. That's a brilliant overtake, Mr. Gio. And next up, it is Ocon, as George Russell has fallen down quite a bit. He's now in front of us. Now, has he taken damage? Has he gone wide? What's he done, I wonder? As Mick looks to make a move on the... He tried to and failed to overtake Kevin Magnussen. And this should be DRS, isn't it? This lap, maybe not. So Giovinazzi has got to try and catch these two in front. And yeah, I mean, we're going faster. Maybe are we not quite going fast enough, perhaps? Let's save a little bit of battery for the straight here. I think if we can get each of them up one, that wouldn't be too bad. No, we're not going to have much. We're not going to do it here because we've run out of battery. We'll get into turn one. But yeah, so the last lap is beginning. We do just have DRS. How's Mick doing? Mick is a little bit behind George Russell as well. So we'll deploy, because we've got nothing to lose really at this point. And do something here on board with Mick. So now we're expecting a 5-second penalty, I think, with Mick, aren't we? So it probably doesn't matter whether he gets past these guys or not, because he's not going to have a 5-second gap to someone in the points. Can Giovinazzi, though, go and get Esteban Ocon for 4th? It would be very, very nice if he could, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. So it's Perez winning in Mexico. Oh, it's going to riot stuff. So 5th for Giovinazzi. Mick, is he going to drop down from his 8th? He crossed the line in 8th. I suspect he'll end up outside the points, though. So, yeah, Mick has, he's dropped down, so he finishes 11th. What a race of what could have been for him, really, isn't it? Look, he was almost just 0.2 outside of the points. If he'd been that little bit quicker, he could have snuck in. But anyway, Giovinazzi up 3 to 5th. Be interesting to see what the board thinks of this as a result. 5th is not really what Ferrari are here for, though, is it? So, yeah, we pulled a little bit back on Mercedes there. So, board confidence goes to medium, and another disappointing result. And it's only going to get more disappointing because, yeah. What sort of condition did we get the DRS back in? 34%. Alright, let me know in the comments. Do we go in for it? Do we buy a new one? It's going to send us over the cost cap. But potentially, I mean, I think we can see there's a little bit of pace in the car outside of that. It might get us a good result to keep me in a job that way. Or, given that if we go back to finances here, cost cap, it'll put us 1.5 million over. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I almost want to do a poll, and that way it's out of my hands. If I get sacked, I can blame you guys. Yeah, I don't know what to do on that one. But anyway, if you've enjoyed that, thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. It is the, what's it called? Brazil. Sao Paulo. Sao Paulo races next. Of course, happens in real life this weekend. So we can see what's happening, what's happened there when we get there. And hopefully we just have cars that can finish. I don't know. Take care.